Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Liv's Thoughts. Today, I want to talk about something a little bit more serious. I want to talk about what's happening in the United States right now, going on with the ICE raids. I was told a really long time ago by someone in my life not to ever talk about politics on my social media. But as someone that does have a platform, I do feel the need. I need to speak up because this is something that is important to me to talk about. And also, I feel the need to speak up for people who don't necessarily have a voice within my own communities because there are a lot of immigrants within my community that I interact with on the day-to-day basis. And it's a very, very scary time that we are living through right now. And anyone on my channel who agrees with these immigration policies, I hope that you watch this video and maybe think differently about your opinion on this and maybe have a little bit more compassion and empathy for the people who are getting ripped out of their homes, who have been born here but are just being taken away and leaving their kids pretty much with nothing. So first and foremost, I want to talk about the crime rates of illegal, we're going to call them undocumented though, undocumented and documented immigrants versus us American citizens. One of the biggest lies that we have all been told by the administrations, honestly, for a really long time, is that undocumented people that come into this country are very violent. But, and excuse me, I will be reading off my little fact page because I wanted to come with some notes today. Violent crime is 2 times more likely to be committed, and when I say violent crime, I mean crime against other humans, is more likely to be committed by a white person in the United States or a US born citizen than an undocumented immigrant in this country. Drug crime is 2 times more likely to be committed by a US born citizen than an undocumented immigrant in this country. Property crime is 4 times more likely to be committed by a US born citizen than a undocumented immigrant in this country. I got this from pubmedcentral.org. I will link it below. It was a study done in Texas, actually, in, I forget the years that it was done in. I should have wrote that down, but it was a Texas study conducted. It was not a for-profit company that did this study, and it's just very telling, and especially in like Texas where there are a lot of people who cross the border here. People are not here to get violent with you. They are here to build a better life for themselves, and we have such a false narrative around immigrants in this country. It's just really scary, the misinformation the media will push out there to fearmonger you into thinking we have an enemy within. Again, look at Hitler's speech, look at Donald Trump's speech. They're one and the same, and it's really, really, really scary. And overall, immigrants are 60% less likely to commit crimes. And this study was done by the Cato, I think it's called, Cato Institute. It's cato.org if you want to look it up. And again, I will be linking it below from the studies that I did read. And it just goes to show, and also don't even get me started with how many police officers. There was a study done for the LA Sheriff's Department about how many police officers in their sheriff's department beat their wives. It was like 40%. Like, the people that become cops in this country are substantially more violent humans, I feel like. And the people that become cops in big cities, especially, and this is just personal theory and my personal opinion from what I have witnessed in my own life, they really do want to hurt people and just like get people in trouble. They are on the lookout for trouble most of the time. And so I just want you to keep that in the back of your head when you are judging people who are maybe don't look like you, or judging people who are documented, who are literally here doing the shit that Americans don't want to do. Honestly, they fill the labor shortages in our country substantially more than we would fill them. There's a word I'm looking for that I literally, it's on the tip of my tongue and I cannot think of it today, and I apologize. And it is a word that I really, really need to use in this video today, but I cannot think of it. But they fill the labor shortages in our country for jobs that we don't want to do because they are here and they're willing to work for damn near nothing because it's better than what they have in their home country. Like, people are here to do shit and get shit done to provide for their families. And I just don't understand how you can see it as anything different than that. Of course, there's going to be the outliers of people like the Laken Riley case of undocumented immigrants coming here and want to commit crimes, but also, what is the fucking word I'm looking for? Not unconsequentially. Please, if you know this, please help me. Unproportionally, disproportionately. That's the word I'm looking for. More crimes are committed with rape, murder, and just like abuse by white men in particular, than any other race in America. And it's really just kind of scary how we don't see white people as the enemy within. And I'm talking about this as a white person myself. In 2022 alone, also, immigrants in this country paid $96.7 billion in taxes into our economy. They help our economy so much. Not only are we cutting Medicare, we're cutting veterans benefits, we are cutting SNAP benefits, we are cutting welfare programs altogether. We are also getting rid of so much tax revenue that is provided through undocumented people in this country who work fucking hard and long ass hours to be able, again, to provide for their families, to give themselves a better life. 18% of the labor force is undocumented immigrants. 18%. That is a lot bigger number than you think it is. 18% doesn't seem like that much when you're putting it on a piece of paper, but 18%, when you look at how many people in this country are working, that is a lot of fucking people. Half of the Fortune 500 companies founders are not from this country. Surprise, surprise, surprise. And boosting demand, they boost demand with like products and buying things from other people. They boost the economy by purchasing stuff into the economy, or buying stuff in our economy. It is just, we all know how an economy works. You buy things, you take them home, you work for your money, you're putting that money back into the economy. And forgive me also if I don't maybe have all my facts straightened out and sorted out, but I am going to try to cite everything below. I just really feel passionately about like needing to talk about this right now, because our lives are changing right in front of us, and we are almost losing the right to protest without being goddamn arrested out here. And it's really fucking scary, and we're moving into we're already in a fascist leadership role right now, but we're moving into like a dictatorship. And that is what is really, really, really scary. And I don't understand what it will take for people to wake up and understand that this is not how a country is supposed to be run. And he does not care about your feelings. Trump doesn't care about you as a person. He cares about power. He probably doesn't even care about money. He cares about power. And that is what, honestly, this whole administration is after as a whole. And also, I want to add this too, to highlight, like, 50% of graduate students are in engineering and comp science are not US born. These are people that come from other countries here to get, again, a better education, because the country they are from maybe doesn't have the best education, but these are people who are really smart and really intelligent, and again, are feeding back into our economy. Undocumented immigrants, there is an issue in our country with people coming here. I'm not trying to bounce around the fact of that, but we make the process to legally migrate here so difficult and so hard. And if we are not willing to ease up on that, how do you expect people to, like, obviously don't come here, whatever, but we market, it's almost like marketing, I guess, for the United States. We market ourselves as a place where you can build a better life for yourself. Think about the American dream. Like, we told the world we are the best, and people want to come here so they can also flourish here. That is what America has marketed itself as. And when you can't be mad when you get people who want to come here and also do that for themselves, because the country that they were born in, that they didn't ask to be placed here. No one ever asked to be born. The country that they were born in maybe can't provide that life for them. And who are we to say that they don't deserve a better life? That's really the biggest part of this. Secondly, I want to move into the protest, and I want to talk about my own experience protesting, especially with the LAPD. I'm from a very, very, very small town in Michigan, 4,000 people to be exact. I think it's less than 4,000 people now, actually, in the city limits of my hometown. And the police in my hometown are awesome. Like when I grew up there, at least, I don't know about now, but when I grew up there, the police that I was around were awesome, awesome, awesome people. One of my best friend's dad was the sheriff. We knew the police officers very well. They came into our schools all the time to talk to us about safety. Like the police in our hometown are great people. And my bubble was burst so abruptly when I moved to LA and went to my first protest during the overturning of Roe v. Wade. And a cop car drove into the crowd of protesters at our Roe v. Wade protest. It was not a accidental thing. It was at night. He hit a girl, and 4 police officers jumped out of the car and pretty much started beating everyone. I do have a video of this, but I'm not going to share it. It was on my old TikTok, and it just was, it was a gross video, and I don't want to share it. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, it was a really jarring experience to be like, why aren't these people trying to protect us? We aren't doing anything except for walking around fighting for our right to healthcare and like safe abortions and safe, like, not medical care, but like safe reproductive rights. Like we don't even have that anymore. And especially in Texas, we don't have that at all here. And it's really, really, really terrifying. With that being said too, police, I have noticed, always are the ones that get violent first with crowds, especially in protests. And if you've been to protests, and I think the Black Lives Matter protest was a very good example of this because it's so much more televised than, let's say, people love to compare this to Martin Luther King walking. That shit got violent too. Did you guys not learn about that in your history books? Because I sure as hell remember learning about the police brutality when they were just trying to walk. Same thing here. It is just more televised, and most of the aftermath of like people looting and breaking into places or whatever usually becomes from police shooting at people and then getting more violent and trying to protect yourself. And I will say, there are people that go to protest to hurt and to destroy property because they're like anti-America fully. I wouldn't consider myself anti-America because I think we live in a really beautiful country, but like our policies here suck. Like our healthcare system sucks. There's a lot of things that we need to reform and get better on before we can call ourselves like a really beautiful country. But there are people that will go, and I remember this same specific protest after we got away from like this whole cop car fiasco. I was walking with a group of like maybe 20 people, and there was 3 people that just started shattering car doors and were like throwing rocks at like the police cars that were just like vacant there. And they were really trying to hurt like even innocent people's things and businesses and that sort of thing. And that's when I realized I was like, I am not with the right group right now. Let me turn around and go back and find the right group. There are people who are like anarchists. They want America to be burned to the ground. And honestly, I can't blame them. I don't think that fighting violence with violence is always the best thing, but sometimes to get your message across, violence is needed, unfortunately. And the Black Lives Matter protests were the first time that we were able to publicly televise and watch on our phones through TikTok police brutality and also the aftermath of these giant protests. And we haven't had an issue that has obviously there's a lot of really important issues, but there hasn't been an issue. Oh my gosh, don't scare me like that. That was my cat. I thought that was, oh my God. I thought my boyfriend was back. That actually scared the living fuck out of me. Holy shit. We haven't had issues in our country except for like gay rights and stuff like that, but that was in like 2012 was that 2012? Yeah, I think so. When gay marriage was legalized. We haven't had these huge issues that we have needed to. Obviously, I know that police brutality and especially against the Black community has been a huge thing, but it hasn't been shown to us as heavily as George Floyd was. And so, of course, people started to stand up, and now we're at a point where the government is trying to not only silence people, they are trying to take people out of their community so violently. And this is the first time that, like, we have had in our lifetimes to stand up to something. And not saying that it doesn't always happen, but this is just the first time we've been able to see it. So don't think just because the media is telling you that these things are war zones doesn't mean that these are not caused by police instigating the violence first. They are trigger happy motherfuckers, let me tell you that. Police are trigger happy bitches. 2, they are power hungry bitches. And 3, they literally want to hurt people. They want to hurt people. They are not there to serve and protect. They are there to hurt. Like, they don't care about you. They don't want to see you. Like, they think that it is you versus them, when at the end of the day, like, we are all on the same level when it comes to priorities to our president. We are all on the same level in terms of probably our pay. And it's scary to see people really choosing the wrong side of history to protect something that they don't even know what they're protecting at this point. And I wonder if half of them even agree with what they're protecting. That's the really scary part. It's a really scary time right now, and I'm going to link below also the King's Day protest that is going to be up this Saturday. I will be going, my boyfriend and I will both be going to the King's Day protest in Austin. Austin police are wildly known to, Texas police in general are known to be very violent very quickly, so we will see how that goes. I hope that, excuse me, I hope that a lot of people get out there for these protests and protest your right. Like, protesting is our right. We have this right. Don't let anyone else tell you that we don't. We are allowed to stand up for our freedoms. We are allowed to stand up for what we believe and what we want and what we think is right. And this is not right. What is happening in this country is so far from right. And if you cannot see that, I beg of you, please, like, take a look outside yourself. Take a look outside of, like, your little community that you're living in. Go visit a big city and see how many immigrants and how many people who don't look like you are actually running these communities and are the heart of these cities. It's so strange because, like, obviously I know that we came in here on stolen land, but, like, at the end of the day, white people, we are dead ass guests in this country. We are guests in these communities. We have the blessing to be able to pick what we want to eat that night and, like, eat it. Like, if you want to go get Chinese food, you can just go get Chinese food. If you want to get, like, why am I only thinking of Asian food right now? I'm just really craving some fucking orange chicken, bro. Like, actually, orange chicken and sushi, my favorites. Some Mexican food, you can go get authentic Mexican food in damn near every fucking city you live in, any city you live in the United States. I guarantee there's probably an authentic Mexican restaurant or an authentic Chinese restaurant run by immigrants in this country. We are guests here. This is not our land. It never has been our land. We took this land from other people, and the sooner that we can come together and realize that, and it's not even about, like, paying back the people that we took this land from. It is realizing that we are a community together and we are in this shit together. It is not the enemy within versus us. It is the people that are turning this country into a dictatorship versus us. They don't care about us. They don't. And I hope maybe this video convinced you to see that. Again, I'm sorry if my words were jumbled today. I just really wanted to post this video as soon as possible and talk about this as soon as possible. And I hope to see you, if you live in Austin, out there on Saturday. And I hope that things get better. I really hope that things get better. I'm hoping for a brighter future ahead of us, and I think that we can create that for ourselves if we're willing to come together and put aside our differences and realize that this country is big enough for all the people here, and if we can all get along, we can create a better life for our future children. We can solve the climate issue, which obviously it's not going to be solved, but we can slow down the climate issues. We can do so much more, and we can live so much, like, what's it called? We can live better lives if we put aside our differences. So, yeah. I know I'm not probably the best person to speak on these things, but again, with my platform, I feel as though I need to, and I feel a duty to protect the people that don't have a voice as much as I can. So yeah, peace, love, and happiness. I hope to catch you in the next video, maybe a little bit more positive. And I'll talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful day, and see you out there on Saturday.